So at the time of writing this, the new Adult Swim show, My Adventures with Superman, aka the Tomboy Lois Lane show, has dropped its first 2 episodes, and I really enjoyed them. But apparently not everyone is like me and enjoys things that are, you know, good. That's where a channel called ClownfishTV comes in, and they tend to talk about how woke recent movies and TV have been. Yeah, it's another critical drinker type channel. In this video, they cover how one episode has Superman in a Sailor Moon transformation sequence, which takes up very little time in the episode and has no effect on the plot, but sure, let's hear what they have to say anyways. Also, since it's a DC Comics related video, I am bringing back Azrael as my icon. If you don't agree with that, you suck and I hate you.
Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And Superman transforms like Sailor Moon.
Yes, I've been itching to do this since yesterday, but we didn't get a chance to, and I've been, I need to do this video so much. This video needs done.
We're going to talk about My Adventures with Superman, which is being described as a rom-com with punching.
Well, no, to be fair, you know, The Adventures of Lois and Clark was actually pretty much a rom-com, and it was pretty good. I liked it.
There was some punching.
So, I mean, being a rom-com isn't when it's Superman and Lois, that makes sense. But the person that's doing this, you can tell them.
The person is, one of the producers on this, I believe, worked on Shira and the Princesses of Power and actually wrote the Princess Prom.
This is going to be something that is brought up throughout the rest of the video, and it's really dumb. Like, really dumb. A producer does not do anything directly towards the writing, editing, directing, and animation for the show. They merely do management for those aspects and also financing. Granted, Josie Campbell does have direct influence on the show, since she wrote the first episode, but that's not something you brought up here. You only mention her as a producer for Superman. And even then, this point doesn't make much sense, since even if Shira sucks, at least to you, since I haven't seen it and I have no interest in watching it, that doesn't necessarily mean anything, since the producer can still be attached to projects that aren't bad, or rather aren't as bad. I mean, Christopher Nolan is still a well-liked director in spite of making films like Tenet, which didn't really have a great critical reception. So overall, this is just arbitrary and stupid.
This writes itself, okay? Clearly, Josie here can only make shows or do things that are reflective of herself, and you'll see why, because she chooses to keep, everything has to be changed to be her image instead of her being a caretaker for it. Just wait till you see this load of shit.
So we'll talk about this, because here's the thing about this show. This show, on so many levels, confuses me. What it's trying to be, what the audience is. It feels to me like HBO is just dumping it.
Even though it is an Adult Swim show, I mean, it was originally made for Cartoon Network, and it's still on Max, which is no longer HBO Max, by the way, just Max. But this point just doesn't make sense. Plus, I'm not sure what just dumping it really means. Well, I'm gonna have to hope that this is clarified later on in the video.
They're just dumping it.
It feels to me like they got people off of Shira, and it's Shira 2.0.
Never mind people like myself who already like Superman as a character, who wanted to watch the show because they wanted to see what could be done with this new Superman. Also, the show has been very well received so far, with a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes at the time of recording this. So, do you really think that all the people who gave it a good review are of the Shira audience? Honestly, I didn't even know that the show had connections to Shira when I first viewed it.
Yeah, so let's talk.
Best friend squad.
They look like they're having best friend squad right now. We even got
Jimmy
Bo.
looks like he's trying to grab. Yeah, they all look like they're ripped out of Shira.
Was this Luz from Owl House?
I can't believe that they made Luz from Owl House straight. This is just like George Orwell's book, 1984.
And Superman, the guy vaguely resembling Superman who transforms like Sailor Moon.
Vaguely resembling Superman, as if he doesn't have the glasses, the suit, the trunks, the black hair, and everything people associate with Superman.
Yes,
So
that's the point. He transforms like Sailor Moon. We never did say that, did we?
We did.
Oh, we did?
Yes.
He transforms like Sailor Moon.
And we're going to show you that. And this is an ongoing trend. Not only do we have He-Man transform like Sailor Moon, now we got to make sure that Superman transforms like Sailor Moon
Right.
as well.
Transformation sequences have been around for like the past ever in animation. Ben 10 has a transformation sequence, for example. And yet you say ongoing trend as if it's something that has only recently happened. And even then, how can you claim that something is a trend only based on 2 examples? 2 examples do not make a trend. Because trends are defined by something happening over and over again.
Right.
As well. So before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
I don't remember subscribing to ClownfishTV.
So the person that you know brought us Princess Prom also brought us this load of shit.
Yeah.
You ready?
So
You
we're
ready?
gonna watch a transformation.
So pretty.
Then we're gonna plus it.
Because we got to make sure you know he's you know in touch with his feminine side.
He is in touch with his feminine side. Let's put some audio on here.
Next thing, him and Jimmy are going to have a little side quest adventure, and it's going to be
Side quest?
Yeah, you know, like we had with Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn, and then it's going to
God.
be Superman and Jimmy are a thing now.
Superman and Jimmy are a thing.
How is a transformation sequence inherently feminine? Is it because it's influenced by Sailor Moon? Well, in that case, it means that the inspiration was feminine, not the sequence itself. In the show, the sequence occurs when Superman remembers about the metallic structure left on his family's farm in Smallville, so he visits the structure, and a hologram of his father speaks to him in an alien language, which leads to him getting the Superman suit. Not one bit of that is inherently feminine. Fellas, is it gay to visit Kansas? Also, boy, I sure do love mild homophobia to start off my day. What, is the idea of Harley and Ivy being together just another example of wokeness and forced diversity? Also, Lois is on the show. Lois Lane, the character who is famous for being Superman's girlfriend, is on the show. So the speculation that Jimmy Olsen, you know, Superman's pal, is going to be gay with Superman just doesn't really make any sense to me. This is just entirely based on assumptions.
Superman!
I can't. I mean, it's not as long as like the He-Man one. So I mean, it's shorter. But why the hell do we need this?
Maybe because Superman is a character who has existed since 1938, and therefore people will try to do new things with him. Why do we need this? Is an incredibly subjective criticism, as it just displays a level of discomfort over anything else. Why do we need this? I don't know, why not?
So okay, so now let's compare and contrast with He-Man, which is being compared and contrasted with Sailor Moon. We gotta do the same thing.
Okay, don't make that sound.
Sparkle power!
Honestly, this made me cringe way more than anything in my adventures with Superman.
Pro tip number 80.
Super Bowl!
Actually timed perfectly. Oh, God.
So this is actually on the official, this is the official DC Comics Twitter account.
Because I asked you it was a joke. I said,
No.
no, is that someone like doing as a joke? That has to be a joke. That can't be real. That's got to be a joke.
No, it's 100% real. And again, they put it on the DC Comics Twitter account, which means that you've got all the, you know, Superman fans, comic book fans who are like, what the hell is
Well, it's going to
going
be funny
on
because they're going to be like, it's not for you. It's for the children. No,
Since when would people argue that an Adult Swim show is for children?
it's for Josie and her people that are the same age as her in her Shira jacket. So it's for 20-some-year-old cartoon stand people who are obsessed with prom and obsessed with, you know, trying to emasculate any male character they can possibly come across because they're threatened.
I really don't know how buff men like He-Man and Superman are being emasculated simply because they do transformations in front of starry backgrounds, when stars are not inherently feminine either. Fellas, is it gay to transform in front of stars? Also, wow, don't you just love it when you assume intent? Because I do. Like, apparently, in Shira, He-Man was disregarded in order to focus on a female character, and maybe that is partially where this point is stemming from, but nothing like that has happened in my My Adventures with Superman. And the show only has one episode at the time of this video's release, so how could you make the claim of emasculation based on one episode, which still did have Superman fighting off giant robots, might I add?
Well, okay, so this is what confuses me about this show. And they have an interview in Comics Beat about it and all that.
Comics Beat, sure they did.
Right.
Of course they did.
This show, and it does look a lot like even the faces of Ma Kent.
It looks like flippin' Shira.
It looks like Shira.
It's probably all the same people.
It's probably the same animators too. They probably have the same.
I bet you money some of the people that are on the show, if you look them up, they're probably other ones who did Shira episodes.
Probably.
Okay, and I mean the same animation team behind the Iron Giant, which has been lauded and praised for its story and its characters, also made 8 Crazy Nights, a movie that is very hated for being mean-spirited and having bad humor. My point is, notice how they are never going to compare the show to Shira on more than just the superficial. It looks like Shira and it has one of the same staff members. Okay, but is the writing like Shira? Are the characters like Shira? And just because the show has one of the same staff members, that doesn't really mean that it's just like Shira. Like, I know that cartoon reviewer Mr. Enter is hated, but he said something some years ago that I think addresses the "it'll be Shira 2.0" criticism and your obsession with Josie Campbell very well.
Look at someone like Steven Spielberg. He directed Jaws, E.T., Raiders of the Lost Ark, Back to the Future. All movies that have wildly different genres and tones. Even one person can have a teensy bit of variety.
But no, it's just like Shira for arbitrary reasons. Also, I thought that the show was going for more of an anime influence, and anime are known for looking similar, but maybe that's just me.
So what gets me about this is it looks like a show for kids, right? It looks like a kid's show, but it's on Adult Swim. You know what I'm saying?
Because
like,
it's for Josie and her friends.
Yeah.
27-year-olds who didn't grow up and are obsessed with who children are fucking in cartoon shows.
Even though shows intended for child audiences like Steven Universe have been praised for their storytelling abilities that were able to resonate with kids and adults. Or at least that's what happened before Steven forgave fascists or something. I don't know, I never finished Steven Universe. But my point is that there really shouldn't be anything wrong with an adult watching kids cartoons. Especially when some kid shows like Batman the Animated Series were praised for their adult edge and being mature.
So that, well, no, I guarantee you that's going to be a whole issue with this show, because it's like they're already baiting it with the rom-com angle, but I'm just like...
Yeah, at least Lois and Clark, they were adults.
So originally I think it was announced as a cartoon, just a Cartoon Network show, and then it became an Adult Swim show, and I'm wondering if they don't know where to put it now, because...
Oh, I know where they can put it. It's round. It's, you know, about a couple feet high.
No way! She's talking about her own takes!
So, yeah, onto Adult Swim it goes. And I have to wonder if this isn't something on Warner's end to be like, oh yeah, we're gonna dump this thing on Adult Swim. We're gonna write it off as a something, and because I'm sure it was in production, for a couple of years now. They announced it.
Oh, it was a while ago. We talked about it.
Yeah. It's just like, who is this for? But let's look at some of the responses to this. Let's see. My 4-year-old daughter just got into Sailor Moon, and she's gonna love it. Thumbs up. Yep, Sailor Moon.
Yeah, no, they keep doing this. They just keep ripping off Sailor Moon. They think it's an homage, but it's for a certain type of person.
So it cannot be an homage because it's for a certain type of person. Do I even want to dignify that with a response? Even then, I don't know how homages are suddenly ripoffs now. Do not homage to anything ever, guys, or else you're a filthy plagiarist. Even though homages are just references. And homages appear in a lot of high-profile works.
It's for Josie and company who could only write one type of thing. So they thought it was a great idea to move the people who were in Shira. So they have the whole Shira team, like probably moving over here to Superman, which makes no sense whatsoever.
Are we never going to talk about how Josie has written many pieces of work, mainly other episodes of cartoons? But no, everything she works on will be Shira, including that episode of Teen Titans Go she wrote for. No, I am not kidding. I have not seen Shira, but I really doubt it's anything like Teen Titans Go. And if you want to argue that the episode has 2 other writers, the The Superman episode she wrote for also has 2 other writers. And yet, all the onus is being put on her for some reason, despite the fact that it takes multiple people to make a show. Stop obsessing over Josie Campbell. Post point, so then this point isn't terrible. They did say that they think more writers of Shira are on the show. However, they never actually confirmed that. So that's just another example of blatant assumption making.
Chicken.
Who am I kidding? I'm not gonna watch this load of shit anyway.
Oh, yeah, that explains a lot. How can you say that this is like Shira 2.0 if you haven't even seen it?
What you know about
Like, this is the most 2021 thing ever made. And they actually talked about this back in 2020. It was announced in like 2020.
I know we talked about it a long time ago.
I honestly, God, think that they were already animating this shit and they were like, just dump it on Adult Swim. We're not gonna put it on Cartoon
Why
Network.
would you put Adult Swim of all places? Though?
Because, like you said, the audience for this show is the Shira audience. You can't put it on Cartoon Network.
Why?
Because the
Everything else
parents
is
are
on
going to be like, what the fuck is this?
Well, they keep putting these shows for these people on Cartoon Network all the time anyway.
Not much anymore. They're canceling. They're like purging regular show now, aren't
well,
they?
yeah, they completely took regular show off. I'm like, regular show is going to be like way better than this show.
Yeah, like, I mean, so you're losing regular show and you're getting this.
Even though regular show ended back in 2017, but okay then. I am so sick of this video. I need to lie down.